Joss feels everything. Gawin analyzes everything. One is ruled by emotion, the other by logic, but somehow when they come together, sparks fly. Their astrology reveals a deep pull between them, one that feels fated, electric, and impossible to ignore. Joss and Gawin's relationship chart shows something magnetic, maybe even life changing, and whether it's friendship, love, or something in between, this bond is no accident. Hello stars, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the relationship horoscopes of your favorite BL couples. If you are new here, my name is Beatrice, I'm a professional astrologer and also a huge BL fan. Today I'm taking a closer look at the compatibility chart of JossGawin. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I always start by analyzing the individual birth charts because they show us how a person acts in a relationship, what they look for in a partner, and so on. So let's start with Joss's birth chart. Joss was born on the 8th of March 1996 and has the kind of energy that draws people in without him even trying. With his sun in Pisces, he's naturally sensitive, gentle, and emotionally deep. Pisces is a water sign, and water is also the dominant element in his chart, which means he feels things deeply, loves with his whole heart, and has a magnetic presence. But here's something interesting. He's missing fire in his chart, which usually stands for boldness and impulsive passion. So instead of loud fireworks, his love burns slow and steady, like candlelight in a quiet room. At the heart of his chart is a rare and powerful alignment. His sun, representing his core self, is sitting right next to Mars, the planet of action and desire. So close, in fact, that it's what astrologers call Kazimi. That's when a planet is so close to the sun that it gets supercharged. This gives Joss an inner strength, drive, and quiet confidence that's very attractive. Even if he doesn't act like a classic alpha, there's something unmistakably manly and intense about him. Mars in Pisces makes him dreamy and romantic, but also a little resistant to being told what to do. He needs freedom in love and life, rules are not his thing. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Joss has something called a grand trine in the water signs. This is a triangle of energy formed by the three very emotional, passionate, and intuitive signs Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. It connects his Sun Mars conjunction, so his identity and desire, with Lilith in Cancer, a wild, raw, feminine energy, and Fortuna in Scorpio, an asteroid that shows where one gets lucky or blessed. This setup means that Joss oozes natural sex appeal. He doesn't have to try, people are just drawn to his energy. No matter where he is, what he wears, how his hair is styled, he just looks majestic. There's mystery, charm, and a deep well of passion that feels both safe and dangerous at the same time. Joss's moon, representing his emotional world, is in Libra, the sign of beauty, balance, and partnership. He craves harmony and sweetness in his relationships. He's likely drawn to people who are well dressed, polished, and perhaps even famous. With this moon, he falls for someone's vibe as much as their looks. He wants to be proud of the person he's with, and he wants them to be proud of him too. Now let's talk about love and romance. Venus, the planet of love and attraction, is in Taurus in Joss's chart. Taurus is all about physical pleasure, touch, and the five senses. When Joss falls in love, he wants it to be real, something you can see, touch, and hold. He's likely to be turned on by soft voices and beautiful faces. He likes partners with a strong feminine energy, someone who's not afraid to show their softness. He enjoys the courtship, wooing someone slowly over food, good music, and maybe a massage. If someone wants to win his heart, food is the key. That person should invite him to dinner or even better, cook that dinner themselves. Mercury, the planet of communication, is also in Pisces, so Joss expresses himself in a gentle, poetic, and sometimes mysterious way. He might not always say exactly what he feels, but his eyes, his tone, and his vibe will let you know. He communicates with emotion, not logic. With Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, there's a part of him that's wild and raw when it comes to nurturing. He may be drawn to people who bring out his protective side or who let him be vulnerable. This adds to his sensual charm. He is strong, but there's a softness inside that only the right person gets to see. In relationships, Joss may be looking for something different. Juno, the asteroid of commitment, is in Aquarius, meaning that he might end up with someone who is unconventional, independent, or even a bit quirky. His relationships are unconventional. This also suggests that he needs space and friendship in love, not just romance. Finally, Joss's North Node in Libra shows that his soul is learning about partnership in this lifetime. He's here to grow through love, connection, and compromise. Relationships help him evolve into the best version of himself. So, what does love look like for Joss? It's slow and sensual. It's passionate and intense. It's quiet but deep. He's not the loudest in the room, but he might be the one you keep thinking about long after he leaves. Love for him is a mix of desire, emotional bonding, and soul level connection. Once you have his heart, he'll be fiercely loyal, but only if you let him be fully himself. Gawin was born on the 8th of August 1997 under the bold and glowing sign of Leo, ruled by the Sun. Leo is about passion, confidence, and warmth, so right away you can imagine someone who naturally draws attention without even trying. But Gawin isn't all show. His heart is looking for something real and lasting. In astrology, Juno is the asteroid of marriage and shows us what we're looking for in a life partner. In Gawin's chart, Juno is in Leo, sitting near his sun, which means he's serious about love and loyalty. He wants a partner who shines, someone who's graceful, admired, maybe even famous. He wants to feel proud of the person he loves, and he wants that love to be big, romantic, and sincere. When he's in a relationship, he doesn't hold back. He gives his heart fully, like a true Leo king. But love isn't always easy for him. His sun is opposite Jupiter, the planet of growth and exaggeration, which sits in Aquarius, the sign of freedom and originality. This creates a bit of an inner struggle. Part of him wants deep, passionate love, and another part wants space and independence. He might find himself pulled between wanting to commit and wanting to explore. It makes him exciting, but also a bit unpredictable in love. Gawin doesn't have any planets in water signs, which are usually connected to emotions. This doesn't mean he's cold, far from it, but he does tend to process love and feelings through logic or action rather than emotions. He might not cry during romantic movies, but he'll remember what you like, help you fix things, or show up when it really matters. That's his way of showing love. His moon, which represents his inner world and emotions, is in Libra, the sign of beauty, fairness, and charm. This makes Gawin soft on the inside, with a deep love for sweet, elegant, and graceful people. He's probably attracted to those who look polished or who have a strong public presence. He wants peace and partnership, not chaos or drama. Love gets even more interesting when we look at his Venus, the planet of love and attraction. Gawin has Venus in Virgo, a sign known for being thoughtful, careful, and quietly sexy. This Venus likes real beauty, not flashy or fake, but natural, clean, and well put together. He probably notices the little things like how someone dresses or how they walk. He likes simplicity and subtlety, not over-the-top displays. A cute belly button or a fine waist turn him on. Courting Gawin might mean sharing a clean space, having a deep talk, or just showing you've paid attention to the details. Venus is joined by Mercury, the planet of communication, and Black Moon Lilith that represents raw, untamed desires. With all three in Virgo, Gawin has this rare mix of innocent charm and hidden sensuality. He might seem modest on the outside, but there's a deeper, more intense side to his love life. He can be very precise about what he wants, both in conversation and in bed, and he's probably a great flirt without even trying. He knows how to say just the right thing at the right moment. One more thing, because of Lilith being so close to his Mercury, Gawin might have a bit of a dirty mind or likes telling dirty jokes. When it comes to action and desire, Gawin has Mars in Libra, which adds to his romantic and charming energy. He prefers flirting, slow seduction, and meaningful touch rather than anything too aggressive. Mars is also close to Chiron, the asteroid of wounds and healing, and they both form a tense angle to Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions. This suggests that love hasn't always been easy for Gawin. He might have been hurt before or confused about what real love feels like. He can sometimes fall for the idea of someone rather than the real person. But once he learns to see clearly and trust his own judgment, he becomes a very wise and devoted partner. With his North Node in Virgo right next to Venus, Gawin's soul is learning how to love in grounded, practical ways. His destiny is to grow through real relationships, ones that are built on trust, care, and everyday effort. Flashy love stories might tempt him, but the real joy comes from someone who's present, kind, and honest. By the way, persons with Venus conjunct the North Node are usually very talented, so no wonder he conquered our hearts both as a singer and as an actor. In short, Gawin is a mix of fire and air, warm, smart, and captivating. He's not the type to cry in public or write love poems on a whim, but when he falls with his whole heart. He's drawn to beauty, grace, and subtle passion. He may not always say I love you first, but he'll show it in his actions, his words, and the quiet, steady way he stays by your side. Joss and Gawin are very different, but that's what makes them work. Joss is full of emotions and deep feelings. He's a water soul who loves with his whole heart. Gawin, on the other hand, is more logical and calm, with no water in his chart, so Joss helps him connect with his emotions. They both have the moon in Libra, which means they want the same thing deep down: peace, beauty, and real love. Together they can create something strong. Joss brings depth, Gawin brings order, and their hearts beat in harmony. One thing that I want to mention at this point is something that we shouldn't talk about, but that is so fascinating in Joss Gawin's case that I can't hold it back. Who's the top and who's the bottom? This is obviously something that is none of our business, first and foremost because we don't even know if they are lovers or not. But let's be honest, especially in the Thai BL industry, there's no way to avoid this topic because already the ship names tell us who is or is supposed to be the top. If we want it or not, we have these stereotypes in most of the series, and the first name is that of the actor playing the manly character, while the second name is that of the actor playing the more feminine character. But what's so fascinating about Joss Gawin is the fact that they actually both have the same role, and none of them is stronger, manlier, or whatever you want to call it. There was a scene in episode 11 of My Golden Blood that made people on X, formerly Twitter, discuss if Mark and Tong are versatile. Don't make me answer that question because the scene was too short and the position too uncomfortable to know the answer. But I like the idea, and if that is true, the director depicted the real-life energy between Joss and Gawin perfectly in the series. While Joss looks very manly, he has a pronounced softness and feminine side. At the same time, Gawin might have physical features that are a bit feminine, but he has a strong masculine energy. 7 out of the 10 planets that we use in astrology are in masculine signs in his birth chart. They are both equally masculine and feminine. Talking in terms of BL roles, both of them are tops and both of them are bottoms. This is what I can say just by looking at their natal horoscopes, but analyzing only their birth charts doesn't tell us everything about their relationship. To find out more, we're going deeper. Let's take a look at their compatibility chart called synastry and at the couple horoscope called composite chart. The connection between Joss and Gawin is full of spark, tension, and growth. We don't know exactly what's between them, but even if they're just friends, their bond is anything but boring. Joss has a lot of emotional energy. His Sun and Mars, which show who he is and how he acts, are in emotional Pisces. Gawin, on the other hand, is more mental and grounded, with Mercury and Venus, the planets of thinking and love, placed in thoughtful Virgo. These parts of them are in opposition, which means they may often clash. Joss feels his way through life, while Gawin thinks carefully. Joss can seem too emotional or intense for Gawin at times, while Gawin might come off as too cold or critical. But this tension also creates attraction and movement. It pushes them to grow and to see the world from a different angle. This opposition includes Venus, the planet of love, and Black Moon Lilith, which represents secret desires and wild feelings. So their differences aren't just about daily habits. They affect how they love, how they communicate, and what kind of emotional or even sexual tension is between them. This could feel exciting and a little dangerous. Sometimes they might not know if they are fighting, flirting, or both. Still, it's not all fire and challenge. Josie's Lilith makes a soft connection to Gawin's North Node, Venus and Lilith, meaning there's a deep attraction and even a sense of faith between them. It's like Joss awakens something wild or hidden in Gawin, something he didn't even know he needed. Gawin in return might push Joss towards his own future path. These feelings may be confusing, but they are powerful. Their moons are both in Libra, the sign of peace, fairness, and beauty. This is a huge help. No matter what differences they have on the outside, deep down they want the same things emotionally: harmony, partnership, and someone who understands. It gives their bond a soft place to land. There are also some beautiful connections between Gawin's Jupiter, the planet of luck, joy, and expansion, and Josie's chart. Gawin lifts Joss up. He brings hope, support, and a sense of meaning. His Jupiter helps Joss move forward and heal old wounds. This is a kind of connection that makes Joss feel safe enough to open up. But there are also some emotional landmines. Josie's Lilith, which represents raw hidden desire, clashes with Gawin's Saturn, the planet of limits, rules, and control. Sometimes one of them may feel judged or held back when trying to open up. It might also indicate that Gawin tends to set boundaries or to hesitate when Josh wants to get closer to him. Public display of affection is kind of a no-go for Gawin. Gawin's Saturn is also in a hard opposition with Joss's North Node. This suggests that while they help each other grow, there may be moments when Joss feels like Gawin is standing in the way of his growth or holding him back in other ways. Josie's Mercury, the planet of communication, squares Gawin's Pluto, the planet of transformation. Their mental connection is strong and intense. They have deep life-changing conversations but also arguments or power struggles. Luckily, Josie's Mercury also works well with Gawin's Mars and Chiron, meaning they can also solve problems and heal each other through words when they try. When it comes to love and attraction, Josie's Venus in Taurus, which likes sensual, steady love, is not totally in tune with Gawin's planets. Its intense angles with Gawin's Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, meaning Gawin may seem unpredictable, confusing, or overwhelming to Joss at times. This aspect shows strong sexual tension, but also mixed signals. Gawin may pull away just when Joss wants to get close, or surprise him when he least expects it. This can feel exciting, but also unstable. Even so, Gawin's Venus and Mercury make lovely connections to Joss's Jupiter, bringing warmth, support, and joy. Joss brings a big generous energy to Gawin's world, while Gawin helps Joss think in new ways. Josie's Saturn also supports Gawin's Neptune, and their Uranus and Pluto placements work well together, suggesting they have the power to help each other through big changes in life. In the end, Joss and Gawin are a mix of opposites and equals. They challenge each other, excite each other, and push each other to grow. Sometimes it may feel confusing, even chaotic, but there's real potential here, whether as deep friends, passionate lovers, or something that doesn't fit in a box. The relationship between Josh and Gawin, whether it's friendship, work, or something deeper, feels like a strong breeze with a clear direction. Their composite chart, which blends both of their birth charts into one, shows that air is the main element. Air signs are about communication, ideas, curiosity, and connection to the mind. This means their bond is built on talking, thinking, and exploring life together. But since water is lacking, emotions might be harder to express or fully understand between them. At the center of their connection is the composite sun in Gemini, the sign of talk, movement, and variety. The sun in astrology shows the heart of the relationship, what it's all about. Gemini brings playfulness, wit, and the need for mental stimulation. These two enjoy spending time together, learning together, joking around, and doing many things at once. They might be the kind of duo who finish each other's sentences or come up with great ideas when they are together. The moon, which shows emotional comfort, is in Libra, a sign that loves peace, balance, and beauty. This gives their relationship a graceful and kind energy. They both want to keep things fair and friendly, and they likely feel better when things are calm and polite between them. Their chart also includes a powerful kite shape, which is a rare pattern that points to talent or destiny. The peak of this kite is the Sun in Gemini, getting support from Jupiter and Uranus in Aquarius, which bring growth and excitement, but also from the North Node in Libra, which shows their shared life direction. The fourth part of the kite is Pluto and Mercury in Sagittarius, which sits opposite the Sun. This means that together Joss and Gawin are meant to shine in the world by learning deep truths, sharing big ideas, or even transforming others through their words or presence. This connection has a sense of mission. It's not just surface level. There's a deeper purpose even if they don't always see it right away. But they do face challenges. Their Venus, the planet of love and affection, is in Cancer, a sign that wants safety and emotional closeness. It's directly opposite their Mars, the planet of action and desire, in Capricorn, a colder and more serious sign. These two planets are also in a tense pattern called a T-square with Saturn, the planet of rules and pressure, in Aries. This setup can bring frustration. One of them may want more closeness or affection, while the other feels the need to be practical, distant, or in control. This can lead to tension, especially if they don't express their needs clearly. But if they work through it, they can build something solid because Saturn can also create lasting bonds after challenges are faced. Their composite Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Aquarius adds surprise and fun. Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion, and Uranus is about freedom and the unexpected. Together, these two planets bring spark and electricity into the relationship. Joss and Gawin may inspire each other to break rules or try something new. This is a pair that doesn't like being bored or feeling stuck. They want to grow and evolve together. Add to that Neptune, the dream planet, and their bond becomes even more magical or idealistic. They might dream big or feel like they understand each other on a higher level, even if real life gets messy. They have a Juno Lilith square that suggests some tension when it comes to commitment and desire. Juno is the asteroid of partnership, while Black Moon Lilith represents deep hidden cravings. There could be moments where one wants security and the other wants independence, or where desire clashes with tradition. The composite North Node in Libra shows that the purpose of this relationship is to learn about harmony, balance, and true partnership. Joss and Gawin are meant to grow by learning how to cooperate, compromise, and support each other as equals. This placement asks them to move away from selfishness or one-sided thinking and focus on building something that works for both. Whether they are just co-workers, friends, or something more, their connection is helping them become better at sharing space, making decisions together, and seeing the world through each other's eyes. Last but not least, the North Node in Libra supports them in their artistic endeavors. Whether it's acting, music, or other forms of artistic expression, they can have a lot of success when working together. Overall, this is a dynamic connection built on strong mental chemistry, shared vision, and electric energy. They inspire each other to think bigger, go farther, and challenge the norm. Emotions may not always come easy and they might struggle with different love languages, but when they communicate clearly, they become an unstoppable team. Now you know everything I can tell you about JossGawin. If you want to find out more about other BL ships, stick around. During the next few weeks, I'll upload videos about Earth Mix, Gemini 4th, Xenu New, and Ompawat's ideal new partner. Subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on if you don't want to miss these videos.